we have to move on to our NFL midseason awards. Because boy, oh boy, have there been a lot of unexpected turns, and also, in my opinion, pretty expected results. And the best way to start off, of course, with this award is with MVP. What do you guys think, or should we work our way up to MVP from the bottom? Ready?
MVP is a good start.
MVP is a good start. So my pick for MVP coming to this year was Josh Allen, but some of the other candidates thus far would be Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, and Geno Smith. When I look at this Bills team, rough game on Saturday, get rough game on Sunday versus the Jets, but ultimately Josh Allen this year has been the best player in football. And when you look at how good this Bills team has been, in spite of that loss, I have to go with him given the fact what he is doing right now has never been seen. Being able to year in and year out win 11 to 13 games at this type of level, we don't see this. We never do. What type
Can't
of players
argue
done
that.
this?
You can't argue that. Josh Allen is having an incredible season, and while you could highlight two ugly games, that Jets game was the ugliest. I wouldn't say it's a stain necessarily. It's an ugly game. It happens. It's gonna happen.
What I'm laughing at is the fact that John just said that we've never seen this happen. What do you mean we've never seen what happen?
A quarterback like Josh Allen that has led his team to 11 to 13 wins year in and year out. And right now he's averaging
We've never seen that before. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. I could keep going. Drew Brees.
a quarterback of Josh Allen's style. A Cam Newton was not doing this stuff year in and year out with the efficiency. Allen right now is averaging 300 passing yards a game. Team's winning. Why are you looking at
Okay.
me like that with your
Okay.
eyes?
I mean, okay. I guess. Listen. So, Justin, you're sticking with your preseason pick is Josh Allen's.
Actually, I'm not. Yeah, actually, I'm not. I would love to pick Josh Allen, and I do believe maybe by the end of the season, we probably might all have a different pick. But right now, I'm gonna have to give credit to the only undefeated team in the NFL, and I'm gonna have to say it's Jalen Hurts. I think year in and year out, the kid is getting better and better, and as the season goes on, the Eagles are looking better, and he's looking better. I mean, if you look at his passing stats, they're not going to wow you for the simple fact that they're running all over you at the same time too. So I think he has a total of 18 touchdowns and his two interceptions. The guy's going absolutely crazy. He's going to rush for well over 600 yards on top of that too. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now, in large part due to Jalen Hurts. And if this team is going to have Super Bowl aspirations, it's because this guy's under center.
My preseason pick was Joe Burrow, and while things didn't start off very good for my pick, things started to get rolling, and I think they are still rolling. Um, but right now, if I would have to favor somebody, it would have to be Patrick Mahomes, and I think the biggest reason why is no Tyreek, no problem, and you can't say the same for probably any other. Actually, either of your guys' picks. Take away Stephon Diggs, and not just for a couple games, take him away from the team entirely. Justin, your pick, Jalen Hurts. Take away AJ Brown from the team entirely. Do you think that they're still doing what they're doing right now? No. Patrick Mahomes is doing things. I mean, he's still Patrick Mahomes. He's leading the league in passing yards. He's leading the league in passing touchdowns. He only has 6 interceptions. He's got a 75 QBR. And while he's got those two losses on his record, the one to the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills, where he basically threw the game away by throwing the late game interception, I still just look at he's you take away the guy that everybody says is the most explosive receiver possibly in NFL history, and he's still doing the things that he's doing, and it doesn't really look like he's missing a beat. And you want to talk about legs, John? I mean, look no further than last night against the Tennessee Titans, where Patrick Mahomes was damn near running wherever he wanted to run on that team, and it's really weird because he doesn't look like he's a very mobile quarterback, or when he gets going, it doesn't look very fluid like a Lamar Jackson, right? But he gets where he needs to get, and he picks up speed. He's very Aaron. It's why Aaron Rodgers is the perfect player comp to him. They're very, very similar quarterbacks. So right now, I would have to favor Patrick Mahomes with my second pick, probably still being my preseason pick, Joe Burrow, because I think he's going to keep those stats going. But I do want to say, a dark horse who I don't think is going to get MVP because it's really a quarterback uh, award. Tyreek Hill. I mean, talk about changing life for a quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. Neither of you guys would be talking, and nobody in the NFL community would be talking about Tua the way that they're talking about him now without Tyreek Hill. He's special, and honestly, I just want to, if you want to jump real quick to Offensive Player of the Year, he is it. He's my pick. It's Tyreek Hill. I had Jonathan Taylor in the preseason. He has not panned out. It's not going to be him. Tyreek Hill is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. I don't think anybody can have it any differently. And if he gets to 2,000 yards, I mean, you can just bookmail it. It should be unanimous.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at BestStamp. When it comes to sports betting, BestStamp is changing the game. You want to maximize your return, and with the BestStamp app, all you have to do is download it and sign up on their different affiliate sportsbooks, and you can see all the best odds given straight to you in one single place. The visual tools are very helpful, and by the end of the year, you can use it for accounting. You can get all the analytics that you'll need so that you can bet like a pro. Be sure to use our referral code at WiseGuys, WISEGUYS. Thank you to BetStamp for supporting us, and as always, back to the show. What we're seeing right now in football at the receiver position, and running back to a lesser degree, is flat out historical. In 2020, we see Jettas put on a record-breaking season. The following year, Jamar Chase comes in and replicates that. Last year, we see Cooper Kupp triple crown one of the greatest seasons ever by a wide receiver. And this year, Tyreek Hill, through just 9 games, fellas, 122 receiving yards per, over 1,100 yards, not even 1,000, and 76 receptions. We are just barely halfway through the season. Hell, he's on track right now to have 2,100 yards. And for Patrick Mahomes, I got to give him credit before. He talked about his rushing ability. He fractured his kneecap 2 years ago. Mahomes this year's done a phenomenal job without Tyreek, and Tyreek in Miami has made them a contender by himself. And given the fact he's playing across from Jalen Waddle, that offense this year has been flat out phenomenal because of what he has brought. So yeah, Tyreek is easily my offensive player of the year. And my initial pick in Jettas, to me, would in many years be a leading candidate for this, but unfortunately he's been massively shadowed.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with the two of you guys. I mean, the NFL as a whole this year has been spectacular on the offensive side. You could go for so many people. Person I'd love to highlight is just Nick Chubb is going absolutely crazy this year in Cleveland. Already 800 plus yards and 10 touchdowns. And as John said, we're not even halfway through the season. So that's just a shout out to him. But nobody is performing on the level that Tyreek Hill is. We can look back to that game against Baltimore with him going absolutely crazy along Jalen Waddle. I think it's just really a tribute to how special of a talent he is that he can just walk into that place. And as John said, I sung the song last week. This is a Super Bowl contender because of those weapons on the outside. And Tyreek's the number one for a reason. Probably the most explosive wide receiver I think we may have ever seen. Really. Clean sweep, Tyreek Hill, Offensive Player of the Year.
I agree with that. So next up, Defensive Player of the Year.
Real quick, I do want to shout out Derrick Henry too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Comes back. Colby, he'll be in the another award probably for some of us. Leading the NFL in rushing. Last night, another ridiculous performance, 115 yards on that Chiefs defense. But yeah, Defensive Player of the Year, fellas.
Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, go ahead, John.
My pick on here was Nick Bosa, but I'd also used Micah Parsons on pick a side. Through 9 weeks, and by the way, Justin, I'm sorry if I misspoke. We're a little bit over halfway through the year, nine games. Technically 18 weeks. It's so stupid we added 17th game. Not the point. My pick for Defensive Player of the Year has to be Micah Parsons. The player that wins this award should be on the best defense. And Nick Bosa this year has missed some time. Otherwise, I think this would be a neck and neck award, given the fact that Micah, within 2 years, has completely transformed this Cowboys defense into the most dominant one in football, it speaks to how special a talent, the trajectory he is already on. So far this year, 8 sacks, and that doesn't speak to his versatility. You can use him in almost any asset on the defensive end, and he's just a game wrecker. I think you guys have talked about ad nauseum. This is probably the second best, maybe the best defensive player in football in terms of impact, influence. It goes hand in hand, and just flat out versatility, the strength, size. He's not the biggest. He's only 6'2", 6'3". He's big, and then the speed, the athleticism. It is honestly out of this world.
Next level is what it is. Like you, I had Micah coming into the season as defensive player of the year, and I think Micah is probably leading it. I would favor Micah, um, but just behind him. I mean, I tweeted about this earlier today. Excuse me. This guy needs to get his love. Needs to get his flowers. And I might just be speaking just because I'm a Patriots fan, but Matthew Judon is that dude. And he's one of the best pass rushers and one of the best defenders in the league. He now leads the league in sacks. I know Micah had a week off because they had a bye week, but now the Patriots have a bye week, and Micah's got to turn to get three. Actually, he's got to get 4 sacks to take the lead in sacks, because right now Judon's got an 11.5 sacks. So I got to give my boy Judon some love. He is our best player on our team for the New England Patriots. And while I don't agree with John Wood, I don't know if he meant to say should be the defensive player of the year should be on the best defense. I think they should be on at least a top 5 defense in the league. But yeah, and I think those two guys, but I do think Micah is leading the candidacy right now.
I think it's Micah by a long shot, to be honest. More so from the simple fact that from the beginning of the season, the way he started off the season in the first 2 games, just sweeping the league by storm and drawing so much attention. Micah is on another level, being compared to some of the greats like a Lawrence Taylor in some people's eyes, which is absolutely crazy in comparison. Now, I was never blessed to watch Lawrence Taylor actually play. I've seen highlights, and he's a madman on the field. And Micah Parsons is just that. He is a madman. I mean, like it's a clean sweep here, and Brandon mentioned Judon, but I'd like to give some love to Myles Garrett up in Cleveland, because that dude consistently is showing out every single game. He's a beast. He eats in the trenches, and he's a freak of nature. Have you ever seen that guy dunk off vert? Like, that guy's an absolute monster. So just to give love to guys like Myles Garrett. Max Crosby was my pick going into the year, and while he's not having a poor year, his team is. So it kind of just overshadows his production in my eyes.
If we're all going to give our favorite dark horse, I'm actually going to take one on a good defense, and that is Patrick Surtain of the Denver Broncos. He has been arguably the best corner in football this year. No picks, because no quarterback wants to throw near him. In the same way Micah Parsons has come in within 2 years, been an absolute superstar. What Patrick Surtain has done on that back end, Justin Simmons missed some time, has helped this Broncos defense be at the very top of the league. And a week ago when I said the Broncos had a chance to make the playoffs, it wasn't because of their offense, it was because of that defense. And year 2, Patrick Surtain is already the best player in that unit by a convincing margin.
John, were you trying to sneak diss the Patriots defense and say they're not a good defense, or?
Oh no, I was dissing Max Crosby. Not really, it wasn't really Max Crosby's fault. His defense is bad.
If you want to throw out dark horses, let me just shed some love, because you threw out a losing team. Let me throw out a team that's actually winning. Uh, I'm gonna shout out to Quinnen Williams, bro, on the Jets. Yeah, he's not defensive player of the year, but the impact that guy makes when healthy, you can see it clear as day in that defense. He's an absolute monster, and also one of the best personalities in football.
Speaking of more teams that win games, we're going to move on to Coach of the Year next.